upload Arby's inflammation.
Ingenious Basterds! Yeah.
And we're back.
Oh.
If you do upload Arby's, there will be inflammation.
Yeah, welcome to Ingenious Basterds. I'm Kyle.
I'm Corey.
I'm Todd.
There he is. Yeah, we're doing this.
Quarantine edition.
Yeah. Yeah, we have not recorded in a very long time. So we're doing one of these fancy Zoom meetings.
Are we doing audio in this, or are we also doing video, Corey?
We're doing both. I mean, it records both. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, most likely it'll be in and we do have a YouTube channel, so we can do whatever the hell we want.
We have a YouTube channel?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Well, you get one automatically when you have Google.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
That's fair.
Yeah. So the world is crumbling. We haven't got to record much.
No.
But here we are now. But I've been drinking a lot.
4 Roses bourbon. When the world fucking sucks.
I'm having a little bit of Old Forester rye.
Ooh. Delicious. I've got the Preacher Pilsner right now. Yeah, I've been drinking a lot.
Like a lot today or a lot like in general?
Not today. This is the first beer I've had today.
Oh, okay.
In general, because the thing is, like, I drink a lot, but I usually drink socially and I drink outside of my home. Now that I'm home, I'm sure I don't have to worry about getting my car home. I don't have to worry about work in the morning. Sure. I mean, I'm still working, but like, it's not like it was. So I'm just getting shit house.
Sure. Yeah.
Same here. I have passed out consistently every night since this whole thing started. I never remember going to bed. I all at once I'm asleep and then I'm awake.
Yeah, I just wake up, Pornhub still rolling on my phone, and
yeah, I just day drink at work.
Yeah,
while working.
Yeah. We are all still working.
Which, I've gotten some complaints about the emails.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently putting 42 fucks in an email is frowned upon.
Why does your email smell
like today, like...
Your email smells like bourbon. How did that even happen?
It's apparently a saturation point.
Kyle and Todd have both grown mighty mustaches, though, during this, I see.
Something to do. Passes the time.
Yep.
But yeah, I will, on days that I don't have to go into work like today, I'll start drinking at 8 a.m. Why not?
Well, it's true. Yeah, so, that's... we're all still working. I do go to work. Todd goes to work. Kyle gets to work from home. But
yeah. I'm super excited about the pollen count, though. That's what's really keeping me going.
It is the best time to be in Western Kentucky during a pandemic. When you wake up and your car is literally green with pollen.
Yeah.
and you're coughing and wheezing.
Yeah, and you're thinking, maybe a little Corona. A little Rona up in here.
I really did not need Taco John's. I know I'm infected from it.
Why did I get Taco John's? I'm pretty sure Taco John's has always had COVID in it.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's why we're all immune to it.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. My day to day is I get up, I'm no longer rushed to go to work. I get up, I have some coffee, fart about on my phone, and then I come to work for a while. I mean, I do have to work every day now, so that's a bit much, but
sure,
because we're down to one employee. But then I go home and I start drinking, and I don't stop until I collapse in a heap.
I have a toddler, so
also collapsing into a heap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I don't start drinking until she collapses from drinking.
Yeah. And the masturbation, y'all, is out of control. We should go ahead and tell you. You guys are both still married, so
Technically, yes. No. Yeah.
I can see my wife from here. She's on the couch, just right over there.
masturbate.
No,
Totally uninterested in anything I'm doing.
yeah, I can see my wife as well. I have a camera down there. She's watching TV. I think it's the latest episode of Serial. No. I haven't actually been watching any more television than I did before.
There's a show about cereal.
Yeah, probably.
Which episode? What are they on? Are they on Captain Crunch or what?
No, it cuts your mouth. It's not technically cereal. I think it's actually qualified as like a roofing product. Captain Crunch. Yeah. Like in Somalia, that's what they make the streets out of.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You've heard of chip and seal roads. There's chip and frosted flakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, she watched the Tiger King show that everybody's crazy about.
You haven't seen it either, Carl? Todd and I have not seen it. Yeah.
No, I refuse. It's one of there comes a time when there's something that everyone is talking about and everyone tells you have to watch it, and whenever someone tells me I have to watch something, I automatically do not want to watch it.
Not in this house.
I understand. Yeah. I've seen probably 20 minutes of it here, like spread over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, just going into a room, seeing the crazy gay tiger wrangler, meth addict, murderer. But the one thing that struck me, I grew up in the second poorest county in Kentucky, which is an achievement. You know, considering how far down we are on states that don't suck, it's probably like the 20th poorest county in the country.
Yeah.
And
which means there was a lot of tigers there.
No.
Oh, okay.
But whenever they're doing interviews with just random people that knew that were in the Tiger King circle,
yeah,
it's like all the people from where I'm from. Like, oh, I've seen that guy. I know exactly who that dude is. Yeah. No, that guy would totally take $2,000 to murder somebody and then just blow it on meth and cocaine.
Yeah.
That was kind of my take on it as well, because I watched the trailer for it, and obviously you can't avoid it because everyone's posting about it and there are memes and all kinds of shit. But I looked at the people that the show was about, and I was like, those are the people that I actively go out of my way to avoid in real life. Why, especially since we're quarantining, would I want to spend like 10 hours watching them?
Yeah, most of my adult life has been me trying to avoid those people. I do not want to watch a show about them.
Because in Western Kentucky, we know people like that.
Yeah. It was the same reason I didn't watch The Mandalorian. I was like, bounty hunters have been after me my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
Not watching it.
Also, Corey hates babies. It doesn't matter if they're Yoda. Corey just does not like babies.
This is true. I did rewatch The Mandalorian. I've been watching quite a few shows because I'd seen it, but I saw it at my sister's. Her and I just watched the whole thing one night, and we were shit-faced, so I didn't remember a lot of it. But I rewatched it, and I really enjoyed it.
It's a really good show.
Yeah. I know we're like 6 months late to even talk about this because I don't think we ever talked about it.
No, yeah, I don't know.
It's the good Star Wars.
It is the good Star Wars. It's really good.
It's way good, and all the stuff coming out about the next season sounds really good too. Getting Ahsoka in there and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I liked Clone Wars. I thought it was fun. I like Rebels a lot. Yeah,
Rebels. Have you been watching the new Clone Wars?
No, I haven't watched it. I need to. It's been so long since I watched the others. I need to go back and.
I hadn't watched it since it came out either, and I've been watching the new ones, and like a lot of stuff. I don't feel like I need to go back and rewatch because there was a lot of filler in the old Clone Wars. Because
That's true.
You'd have a friggin' episode that was devoted to C-3PO and shit. Yeah, but the new ones it is all straight to the point. Ahsoka's in it and she's awesome, and it's their animation looks better. The action scenes are terrific. It's not over yet, but where it's at right now is getting almost to where Revenge of the Sith starts.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's
Are there tigers?
there are no tigers. Nor are there rednecks.
Star Wars needs a good space redneck planet.
Just full on meth labs. Like everybody just cracked out.
Yeah. I mean, we got Black Planet, Bespin.
Yeah.
We need White Trash Planet.
We do, in like just a land speeder up on concrete blocks in the yard.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like the wife beater is like the standard senatorial uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Like they all wear that. And just it gets more elaborate. The higher in rank in society you are, the more holes it has.
Yeah. A racist droid. And I'm talking.
You guys might not know this, but I think you just described Alderaan before it was incinerated by the Empire.
Is that what it was? Bless you, Kyle.
A bunch of tree fucking.
Yeah, that's been really good. I'm trying to think of what else. I've been watching a lot of movies, but I've been watching a lot of bad movies.
Such as Lethal Weapon, because that's what I've been watching.
No, like way worse. Like I watched a movie called The Apple, which was in the early days of Canon Films, the Golden Globus. So it was directed by Menahem Golan, I think, or was it Globus? I think it's Golan, but it's a musical. So it was written by a friend of his, and a frustrated Israeli pop star who, in his mind, got fucked over by a music manager, and so that's pretty much what the movie is. But but he tells it as a biblical retelling of the story of Adam and Eve, set in like the year 1997. The movie came out in like 82, so it's the future. And it's this couple named it's Adam and Eve, but maybe it's something like that. But they're pop stars, and it's absolutely terrible. Oh no, has Kyle disappeared, or is he just?
What?
No, I'm just blowing.
What happened to?
Oh, okay.
Okay. What happened to Kyle?
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to? Oh, we're gonna have to do a cliffhanger episode there for a minute.
Yeah. No, they dumped a ton of money into this movie. The music is absolutely horrible, but I don't recommend anybody ever watch it. It's incredibly bad. Jesus or God appears at the end in a pretty much like an old Cadillac pimp car.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't recommend watching it at all.
I mean, he would drive that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I've been I watch of course I watch a ton of horror movies, and but during the pandemic I've been going back and watching a lot of comedies that I hadn't seen in years, like Steve Martin and Lily Tomlin in All of Me, which holds up and is fantastic. One day watched Soap Dish and A Fish Called Wanda back to back, and nice. Why Kevin Kline is not still doing comedies, I have no idea, because the man's a fucking genius.
He's got great timing.
He died, didn't he?
He did not.
Oh.
Kevin Kline is still alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Don Klein died. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the deacon from the church up the street?
No,
Yes.
he was my garbage man.
Oh.
Yeah, Don Klein.
And they'll never catch you.
What?
That's right. It just kind of hit me that the video format makes it impossible to do Corn Man.
True. What do you mean? What?
I'm trying to figure out how we would rock a Thunderdome in this format.
I kind of thought about that, and there's ways to do it. We just have to switch it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually Googling corn puppet right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean we have to have Corn Man. It's a staple.
But I assume he's doing fine and just waiting for the bodies to drop, so he doesn't have to do as much work.
He's probably upset there's fewer people coming into the cornfield.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's what he needs. He needs to get in Trump's ear and whisper, that corn is a proven antibody.
I mean, like, we joke, but all you'd have to do, is mention to him offhand the next briefing, be like, corn.
Have you heard about this corn?
It's a new thing. People just discovered it.
I mean,
it grows.
It comes out in your poop. It's very strong.
Yeah.
And we love corn, don't we, folks?
Yeah. No, it's the Onion. It's what a hard job these days, working at the Onion.
Oh, my God.
No, seriously, like a month ago, at the end of March, the Onion published an article that was about a Trump supporter buying every brand of disinfectant in case Trump said it was a cure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's just, if it came out like in 5 years that he was reading the Onion and just specifically trying to do shit they had said, I would 100% believe it.
It would make me happier than the truth.
It would. I would say, oh, okay.
Oh, he was trolling us the whole time.
Fine. That's reasonable. I get it. I would do that. If by trolling you mean death camps.
And we all love a good death camp.
Yeah.
Death camp for cutie.
For a minute.
Oh, I did go back. You're talking about watching old stuff. I rewatched Dragon Slayer, and I hadn't seen that in years. And it was I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Does it hold up?
Vermithrax pejorative?
Yeah, Vermithrax pejorative. It still like looks awesome. One of the best dragons.
Oh, that is, and it's 100% practical. It is one of the greatest dragons ever seen on screen.
Do you get less credit for practical when other types of special effects didn't exist when your movie came out?
I mean,
100% practical effects. Well, they made it in 1970, so
sure.
I mean,
sure. But just saying that you could still do. My point being, you could go that route today. You could still do that, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, you can still do tons of practical.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of the creatures and stuff in the Mandalorian were practical.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda was a puppet.
That made Werner Herzog weep.
No, and that's the nice thing is we're still at the tail end of the masturbatory phase of, look what all we can do on a computer. In 10, 15, 20 years, hopefully there will be a much happier medium of, we can do that practical. Why would we pay some digital artist to do it? Just get a mask guy. Yeah. And then if you want to have 10,000 orcs attack Helm's Deep, you can't shoot that.
Yeah.
Do digital.
Yeah. Sure. And if you want to have Baby Yoda's ear move a certain way that the puppet won't work, make that fucking digital.
Right. Yeah. You marry those two. And for the past, it's getting better, but there was that period in the late 2000s or early 2010s where it was everything digital. What was that? The Will Smith vampire movie.
Oh, Independence Day. I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Wait, right. What did Corey say?
Independence Day, of course.
Wait, wasn't it was 7 pounds, right?
It was 7 pounds.
Yeah.
But I Am Legend, a perfectly fine movie. What kills it for me is the terrible CGI.
Dude, even when it came out, I was like, why didn't they just find some fucking heroin addicts and put a little makeup on them and let them go. It would have been so much better.
Put a little powder on them, just poof. That's all
That
you
did.
need.
That ruined the whole movie. It really did.
Yeah, it did. And the bizarre thing, it's similar bizarre level to The Hobbit. They filmed those scenes with real actors.
Mm-hmm. After making some of the best effects in Lord of the Rings movies.
And they did it in I Am Legend. They filmed it with real actors in The Hobbit. And then at some point later, like, go in and do it over with CGI. And just, what?
Mm-hmm.
The thing I could never figure out is, obviously it was a new toy, and it was also for certain things less expensive way to go to achieve the special effects, but they used CGI for blood.
Yeah.
A lot of I will never figure that. I mean, it's fucking Caro syrup and food coloring. It's not going to break your budget to make up some real fucking fake blood and put a squib on somebody.
There's just no way digital blood is cheaper. There's no way.
Yeah.
If I can make the fake blood, it's not cheaper to do it digital.
You can buy it at Halloween Express, for God's sakes.
Yeah. And I can get tons of it because I've got $1,200.
Me too. $1,200 worth of fake blood.
It's amazing. We now know what it's like to be Kyle, to be so wealthy.
Yeah, something like that.
I like being rich.
Yeah. Another thing I didn't know, since I hadn't seen Dragon Slayer in so long, Ian McDiarmid's in it, and he plays a priest, and he gets his ass fried by the dragon.
Nice.
Because,
of course he does.
Because much like modern day, the priests don't listen to reason and just think that God is going to protect them from viruses and dragons, and he gets destroyed.
That would totally be the way people reacted if we were under a dragon assault instead of a pandemic. If dragons were specifically targeting churches, if that was the problem in America, people would still be like, "You can't stop me from going to church."
I mean,
there are dragons that are literally going to burn your church to the ground while you're in it. Jesus will protect me.
I mean, isn't that essentially what's happening right now?
A little bit. Just make sure you bring your offering money. That attracts dragons.
The dragon can burn that up too.
If somehow the money attracted the dragons.
It did Smaug.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I guess the dwarves of Erebor were evangelicals. Few people know that.
I also watched Fire and Ice, the old Ralph Bakshi animated rotoscope with the it's one kingdom lives in a volcano and one of them lives in a iceberg. Have you guys ever seen that?
No, I've no idea.
I've not. I saw the Year Without a Santa Claus though, where you have the heat miser and the cold guy.
Pretty much the same thing, but with a whole lot of butts. It was actually pretty good. Like, I hadn't seen it since I was a really stoned teenager, which is the prime time to watch those kind of movies. But I mean, it's rotoscoping, so it was like his Lord of the Rings he did, and he did Fritz the Cat, and what was the other big one he did? He did another fantasy. I'm totally blanking on what it was, but
yeah, I'm checking it out now. It looks pretty baller. It looks like there's a bunch of boob action in this.
Yeah, and it's on Amazon Prime.
He did Cool World.
He did do Cool World
with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember. Well, I mean, I've got a supercomputer.
Well, there was Fritz the Cat. He did the Lord of the Rings.
Wizards.
Wizards.
Yeah. Which is another good fantasy.
Oh, Wizards.
Yeah. He also did a movie. The one I remember because it was on HBO a lot back in the day was it was called American Pop. It was kind of a history of rock and roll animated thing that he did.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I never saw it, but I know what you're talking about.
I think wasn't Fritz the Cat like the first X-rated cartoon or something like that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
and the last one.
Yeah,
because you can't find anything like that on the internet right now.
This is true. Shockingly,
Well,
no,
until
no
anime.
nudity. Well, God.
Yeah. Until Japan.
Yeah.
Bastards.
It's insane to me, like how much anime is it. You know, when I talk to like way younger people now, they all grew up on some insane anime, which we saw it when we were kids, but it was like we were sneaking to watch it. We were sneaking to watch the eight tentacled demon with 8 dicks, you know, raping a 12-year-old cat girl. But now it's like I remember I used to work for this woman, and her daughter was like 9 or 10. And she was reading this manga magazine that was about 2 boys who were 2 brothers, teenage brothers who were in an incestuous relationship.
That's where
Okay.
all of the stepbrother, stepsister, stepmom, stepdad porn on Pornhub right now, because there's shit tons of it. I mean, that's
pretty much all it is.
That's all it is anymore. It all started in fucking mangas.
Yeah, I mean that is probably 90% of porn right now, I think.
Dude,
Yeah, I mean, you go to Pornhub and just like the home page, when you start scrolling, everything is stepmom, stepsis, stepbro, stepdad.
yeah. And I'm so incredibly happy I don't have any step siblings, step parents, or anything. Like that would.
I grew up, I had a stepdad growing up, and you know what? There was nothing sexy about it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, and he fucked my brains out. Because I was being naughty and I needed to be punished.
I needed a spanking.
I took the car without asking.
Taught a lesson.
Oh goodness. So what else have you guys been watching?
Lethal Weapon. I've been watching the Lethal Weapon movies. I wasn't kidding.
Oh,
I still love the Lethal Weapon movies.
I haven't seen them in a long time. I should definitely watch them.
The first one holds up pretty well. The second one got a little boring midway through.
Yeah.
I haven't watched
The
the
second one
third.
is the one with the South Africans, right?
Yeah. It just doesn't have the same. I'm pretty sure Shane Black must not have written it.
I don't remember.
I think he maybe came up with the story or something, if I remember correctly. But no,
They have.
the first one was like Shane Black's first big screenplay that got produced, and I think it holds up like a motherfucker.
Oh, it does. You can tell.
Shane Black is a great writer.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're gonna like move them to South Africa and all that, the weirdest thing to me was them introducing the alien refugees. That
Not the same movie, actually.
and then they replaced Riggs with Sharlto Copley.
They did in a different film altogether.
Okay.
It was a brave move.
Yeah.
Lethal
But,
Weapon, District 9. What was
District 40.
District 9.
District 9, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Lethal Weapon 9.
Yeah. And then, Lethal Weapon, when they introduced Chappie as the lovable robot sidekick, that was...
Look, they're not done making Lethal Weapon movies. That could happen.
There was a TV show for a while with Damon Wayans, I think.
Damon
Was Damon
Wayans and some dude.
It was some dude. But
Some dude who is
There
apparently...
was some dude, and he said something racist, and they fired him, which I guess he was like really getting into the Mel Gibson kind
right.
of thing, because he had to go, and they brought in Sean William Scott from American Pie. Place.
It could still be on the air. I have no idea.
I don't either. And I was like, Damon Wayans, surely they're not playing the whole, I'm 2 days away from retirement, because he still looks very young.
Yeah.
Damon Wayans is like taking care of himself. He looks great.
Yeah.
Of course, I think in like when the original Lethal Weapon was made, it's all about Danny Glover. He's getting ready to retire. He's found some gray in his beard. I think Danny Glover was like 35.
Exactly. It was the time before lots of personal trainers and plastic surgery in Hollywood.
Yeah. Danny Glover does great. The first Lethal Weapon. Mel Gibson's really good.
Danny Glover's terrific. I really love. Speaking of black actors, I don't know why this. I'm a racist, so this is why it popped in my head. But I love Carl Weathers in the Mandalorian's great too.
Oh man, he really is good. Yeah.
He's fantastic. Carl Weathers has always been great.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but he did a movie back in the late '80s called Action Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Which was fantastic. It was him in Vanity, I believe.
Yeah.
If you can find that, check it out. It's fucking great.
I love him in Predator.
Oh yeah, he's terrific.
Oh, which
Once
obviously
again, Shane Black acting in Predator.
Mm-hmm.
did he not write Predator?
I don't know if he did.
Can't remember. I know he's in it as an actor. I don't know if he wrote it.
Yeah, he's the guy that tells the
jokes.
giant pussy joke.
Lots of pussy jokes.
Uh-huh.
We're looking up his IMDb right now. What has he written?
It was written by Jim Thomas and John Thomas, the Thomas Bros.
And directed by John McTiernan, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
McTiernan was on a roll there for a while, man. I mean, Predator, Die Hard, Hunt for Red October.
Is he the one that spent time in prison?
John McTiernan?
Yeah, there was one director who spent time in prison, was had a really good career going, and then ended up in jail for something. And it's not Victor Salva.
No, Victor Salva should be in prison.
Yeah, he touched some boys after Jeepers Creepers.
Right.
Awkward. I don't know. Google, is John McTiernan in prison?
I don't think it was McTiernan.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was some director that ended up in jail for a while.
McTiernan surrendered to federal prison on April 3rd, 2013.
There we go.
Holy shit, it was McTiernan. God damn it.
Yeah.
I need more booze. I'll be right back.
Lying to an FBI investigator in regard to his hiring of private investigator Anthony Pellicano.
Ooh.
Basically, he lied to an FBI agent because he was an idiot.
Gotcha. Yeah. So is John McTiernan still in prison?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Because I was looking at his IMDb and holy shit! I mean, he made some. He went from Predator. He did Predator, Die Hard the next year, and The Hunt for Red October 2 years after that. I mean, that's cool.
And then he did The Last Action Hero.
He did the last.
I love that movie. I love Last Action Hero.
The last two he made was Rollerball and Basic. And it says he's got a
Didn't
movie.
see either one of those.
I saw Rollerball because it was in the age of Chris Klein.
I remember the Kleinaissance right after American Pie.
I have seen that.
LL Cool J, Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Naveen Andrews.
No, nobody good is in it.
Ah.
Chris Klein.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm trying to think. Let's see what else I've been watching.
I watched. I had the Criterion edition of Silence of the Lambs and I never watched it, so I watched it the other day. It got me thinking about because obviously directed by Jonathan Demme, who's excellent director.
Mm-hmm.
Directed what I think is the greatest concert film ever made, Talking Heads Stop Making Sense.
I watched that last night.
It got me thinking, okay, so you got Silence of the Lambs directed by Jonathan Demme. The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. The Exorcist, directed by William Friedkin. I think a lot of our greatest horror films were directed by directors who were not known as horror movie directors. A lot of them like The Shining, that was Kubrick's only horror film. Silence was Demme's only horror film. Mm-hmm. Friedkin did some other ones later on in his career, but he was not, I mean, he's not Wes Craven, you know. It's just interesting that so many great horror films were directed by guys who only made one horror film.
Yeah, I mean, the guy who made Hereditary and Midsommar, like before that, he had directed The House Bunny.
What?
No, he didn't.
I was ready to follow you down that rabbit hole. Get it?
It's probably more to do with.
It's like Ari Aster directed the fucking House Bunny. Jesus.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can tell. No, I think it's probably that great directors get great scripts, or in Kubrick's case, they make it. But
yeah, at that point, Kubrick could direct whatever he wanted to.
And so, let's face it, the great bulk of horror films are like the great bulk of anything. They're awful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, take like the American version of The Ring, which I think is a solid horror film, directed by Gore Verbinski, who is otherwise known for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
To me, at least.
Well, I mean, it's horror is. I feel like you could take the crappiest drama script and hand it to a good director, and they're going to give you gold, right? Because look, drama's easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking easy.
It's the George Lucas said about directing drama. He's like, you grab a cat and you twist its neck. You've automatically got the audience emotionally involved. It's easy to do.
Right. And so the two hardest.
That's fucked up.
It is fucked up, but
it is fucked up.
Very fucked up. But it makes a point.
What is wrong with them?
Cat heads.
For me, the two hardest genres to do right, and for wildly different reasons, are comedies and horror movies.
And porn that does not involve a step sibling.
That's also getting increasingly difficult these days. Mm-hmm. Comedy is difficult because so many people are bad at comedy and don't understand why things are funny.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, it's like Chris Rock said. Chris Rock said that Adam McKay, who directed Anchorman, could direct a Gone Girl and make a decent movie out of it, but David Fincher could never direct Anchorman.
Yeah.
No.
And it's like Steve Martin said, get a puppy and fucking shoot it in the face.
Yeah.
And
drama.
It's I thought that was comedy.
No, if you shoot in the balls, it's comedy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But what sent me on that path was I totally got off on that tangent there, but the Omen, the original Omen movie, directed by Richard Donner, who would go on to direct all the Lethal Weapon movies. And The Omen is the only horror film he's ever directed. It's a solid horror flick.
Yeah, it's iconic.
But I mean, the reason behind that is he was confused when he got the script, and he didn't really read it. He thought it was called Oh Man, and he thought it was kind of like a stoner comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Pierce Brosnan was originally attached.
It was going to be a Cheech and Chong movie.
It was. That's true. Yeah, and so I think like comedy. Why is horror hard to do well? I think it's probably because if you think about all the horror movies we've just talked about, none of them are what you'd think of as like in your face in terms of gore, really.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's all subtle. And so you're dealing with like the most, The Exorcist is this big horror movie. Like, not much like crazy shit happens in The Exorcist until like really the end. Well, and it goes completely insane.
Well, there is a 12-year-old masturbating with a crucifix.
Right, but that happened. That goes well into the movie before that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a slow burn, and you've got to be a really good director. The best thing about a horror movie is a slow burn.
Yeah.
Where you're setting all this scene up, and stuff's weird. The original Halloween is a perfect example.
Yeah.
First 40 minutes of that movie, you just glimpse Myers. Nobody gets stabbed.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like he comes in with a chainsaw. It's like, oh, you bastards.
Well, and I mean, it's like Tarantino, who's known for being hyper violent, but really his first several movies were not that bloody. Yeah, once you get to Django, the blood is a flying, but like before that, it was inferred violence, but his technique made it more visceral.
Right.
People walked out of Pulp Fiction thinking it was like one of the most violent things they'd ever seen, but there's actually very little blood in that movie.
I mean, it opens with them shooting Brett and his friends. You don't see them get shot.
No.
it flashes, but when it goes to the end, you see the guy from the bathroom get shot, but you don't see any of them die in the beginning.
Right.
Another example of that is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which has actually very little blood in it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not a gory movie, and Tobe Hooper was actually trying to get a PG-13 rating. That's why, or not PG-13, just PG.
Jesus,
PG-13 didn't exist then.
Sure.
But he literally thought he could get a PG rating if he didn't show a lot of blood, and that's why there's not a lot of blood in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But it's so fucking intense, everybody thinks there's like intestines flying around and shit.
Right, and that's one of the things. That's why I think you have these great directors that make these great horror movies, because so much of a horror movie, you really have to show the audience, and you can't tell it. Right, so much of drama is, Mom has cancer. I'm leaving your dad. Right? They're just telling you exactly. It's my daughter, who's a toddler, could film the average drama. But it's a horror movie. You've got to have this world. You've got to have the steady state world where all the characters are going through their lives. Everything's fine. So you can't tell, there's a crazy murder on the loose, because that ruins your steady state world. So you've got to heighten this tension, bringing the audience in on the terror without alerting the characters. So you've got to be a really good filmmaker to know how to do that.
And you can't break the spell either. The thing, like all the best horror movies, there's never a moment where the audience is taken out of it and they realize how ridiculous everything is. That's why something like the original Alien, I think that movie, from beginning to end, there's not a moment in that movie where you don't buy what you're watching. There's nothing. You don't see the zipper going up the back of the alien creature costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't buy that they would have a cat with them.
Sure. No, that would be forbidden.
Stupid.
Yeah, and large parts of Alien, there's not anything crazy going on. It's just the android's acting kind of weird, right? We've got this weird signal. This guy gets infected by something. We don't know what's wrong. It seems like he's fine. But there's not like again, it's not the overt guy coming out of the bushes with a chainsaw. Yeah. Which is what we think of as horror, because there's so many bad horror movies. Just like there's terrible comedies that are, lower our IQs. There's
nothing, honestly, though, there's nothing funnier than bad drama or bad horror. They can both be extremely entertaining and very funny.
Yeah, there's not a lot of horror dealing with step parents either, other than the stepfather.
That's it. That's the only one.
Who's always evil.
It's true.
Yeah, can't there be like a movie where the stepdad comes in like, I'm here to fix you because your dad is a prisoned alcoholic, you morons.
No, I will not have sex with you, Tamara.
Yeah. It's inappropriate. You're a minor. Also, you need to study for your biology exam.
I married your mother because I am in love with that woman.
Yeah.
Yes, and I love her and only her. I have no desire to have sex with her children. I'm seeing Richard Dreyfuss in this role for some reason.
Of course it's Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss is the only actor in Hollywood that can play someone responsible.
He was Mr. Holland.
I was about to say, that was the original plot of Mr. Holland's Opus. It was a much darker script.
He's the responsible guy in Jaws. He's the guy from the very beginning. He's like, look, idiots.
We need Richard Dreyfuss now more than ever. We need fucking Hooper from the Oceanic Institute to come in.
Yeah.
And save our fucking country.
Is Dreyfuss retired? He hasn't done anything in a while.
I haven't seen him in forever.
Honestly, the last thing I saw Richard Dreyfuss in was the Piranha 3D, the remake of Piranha.
Whoa.
Jesus.
The movie opens with Richard Dreyfuss in a boat by himself fishing, getting eaten by piranha.
There's a lot of terrible swan songs like Sean Connery doing the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was his last movie. It's absolutely terrible.
Damn, it's so bad.
I guarantee you Piranha 3D was Richard Dreyfuss thinking, I want to go deep sea fishing. Tell you what, I'll do your stupid little movie, but I'm going to be deep sea fishing. I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. We're going to film for 1 day. You're going to give me $150,000.
And a new rod and reel.
And he got it.
Yeah. And, for Richard Dreyfuss, they were like, oh, of course, Mr. Dreyfuss.
He's on Twitter.
Is he?
He is.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him on there.
Yeah.
He also demanded 3 stepdaughters.
It was a weird part of the movie, but they went with it.
Oh. Well, what else is going on? I mean,
I'm
it's
drunk.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
Yeah, there's not a ton happening in lives right now. So
this
would normally be when we were doing our summer movie preview.
Yeah,
there's no preview to be had. This is going to be
movies.
Yeah, this is going to be way worse than the writer's strike of in the 2000s, where there was zero content for a long time. This is going to be pretty devastating for any new movies coming out. So,
well, it's going to kill the movie theater business.
It's going to be pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the new Black Widow is going straight to Disney Plus, I think.
I can't see why they would not do that. I mean, they just put Onward on there, and the new Frozen and all that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't imagine anything that's already in the can not going to a streaming service.
Yeah. So I mean,
give us the Snyder cut.
By the way, Kyle, we've been harping at former special guest John Holt to give us the Holt cut of Doom's Chapel Horror.
I hope it's just me.
It's a whole lot of you, and it turns out you're the one who gifts Austin that shirt.
That makes sense.
Because you want him to get murdered.
It's 4 hours. It's 4 hours long.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'd watch that movie.
And your mother's name is Martha in that movie.
I mean, I think it has to be, but union bylaws.
Yeah.
And it turns out the Doom's Chapel Horror, the monster is Doomsday.
God, DC fucked itself over. Anyway.
Well, now it's all Shazam and Wonder Woman. And so they're hitching everything to that wagon, which I've
either of you watched Shazam? I've not seen it yet. It's streaming. It's
No.
out there.
I heard it's super fun. That's about all I've heard.
It looks fun.
I gave up on those DC movies. I say no, sir.
Wonder Woman is good.
I liked Wonder Woman. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Aquaman is okay.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's okay.
I didn't watch Wonder Woman because the only strong female characters I like are stepmoms.
That makes sense.
Corey's a big fan of the Julia Roberts, Susan Sarandon, tearjerker, stepmom.
Jesus Christ.
Something jerker.
Oh.
It's not just jerking tears. It'll jerk something else out of you.
Hey!
No, I mean, I'll watch Black Widow when it comes out.
Yeah, I thought it looked good.
Yeah. It's got Florence Pugh, who is fucking awesome.
David Harbour.
David K. Harbour.
David
Harbour.
I like that dude.
Does he have a K in his name?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Carber.
David, yeah, it's actually pronounced David Carver.
Yeah.
Did either of you watch his Hellboy? Because I did not.
I have seen about 40 minutes of it, I think.
Yeah.
I heard it was not good.
It's just kind of boring.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it.
No, actually, I think I watched most of it on a flight, a work trip, and it cut off when we were landing. There was, I think, 20 minutes left.
I can't imagine it watching that in any other way than on a flight.
Yeah. And it was so good, I've never gone back to find the movie and watch the final 20 minutes. That's how good it was.
It was literally financed by United Airlines.
Yeah. No fault of his. David Harbour's actually pretty good in it.
I can see him being great in it.
But
David Carver.
David Carver. Ian McShane is phoning it in the entire time. Does not care.
Yeah, that was a weird casting.
It was a terrible casting.
Well, doesn't he play Hellboy's stepfather?
Yeah, basically. And not even the gay one.
I'm going to turn you into a hell man, son.
Who directed that? Something tells it was it Neil Marshall? Was it Game of Thrones Neil Marshall who directed the Hellboy?
I don't know.
I want to say it was the Jeremy Piven.
It was Jeremy Piven.
It was directed by Richard Donner.
I'm just tired of this. All right, every time we're going to reboot a franchise, we've got to start with whatever the sort of origin story or most important event is.
Yeah.
They should just been like, hey, you know what? Let's do a Hellboy movie where he just does takes some cool case and kills some cool monster.
Yeah.
And call it a day. Let's make it 90 minutes.
I swear to God, if that new Batman movie even has the tiniest mention of his goddamn parents.
We all know what happened to his fucking parents.
Yeah.
If they show them getting shot again, I'm fucking done.
There's a shot of pearls rolling down the fucking street. I'm walking out of the theater.
The only pearls I want to see is Alfred giving Batman a pearl necklace.
The only pearls I want to see is Batman pulling him out of his stepmom's ass.
Jesus.
Well, his dad was dead, so he didn't have a stepmom. But it's sensitive.
Neil Marshall directed the Hellboy.
You know what it makes me think? Imagine it this way: like the way some people are making comic book movies is if every time there was a new writer for a comic series, like they had to redo the entire backstory of the characters, so it was their version, right? Like how many Batman backstories have we seen? Batman is the worst offender. Like how many times? Again, hey, how many times do we have to watch the pearls roll down the sidewalk? She's dead. We fucking get it.
Yeah, just change the necklace at least. I'd be happy.
I mean, make it a herringbone chain.
Yeah.
A St. Christopher's medallion.
Yeah.
Something.
Make it her tiara falling off.
Yeah, I mean, the best Batman character is in the Lego movie.
It's kind of true.
Yeah, Will Arnett is amazing as Lego Batman.
It's because he's just Batman. We don't need to know. Everybody knows backstory. Just fucking Batman.
There's also Batman and Rudy.
This is true. Chest lasers.
Yeah. That was a really strong
Batman. That'd be good. I think David Carver would make a good Rudy, actually.
You would.
Get William Hamasi to play the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing his Chicago homeless show, so he can't do anything else apparently.
I think Michael J. Fox would make a great Riddler.
Oh.
What about Famurray Abraham? What's he doing these days?
Oh, well.
Good one.
or get a pounder. Play Batgirl.
Or you get Tom Hanks. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
His blood is going to be used to create a coronavirus vaccine.
Uh-huh.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be injected with Tom Hanks' blood?
Yeah. I know how this turns out. It's going to be an army of Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Hankses.
That's a cult I'd sign on to.
Yeah.
Seems amiable.
Sounds like a book Jur Tolkien would write.
His name was Jerry. Get it right.
Jerry Tolkien.
I'm Jerry Tolkien. I got a book. I think you're going to like it. It's about a little person.
So do you think...
little person with a big stepdad.
You think George Martin is going to finish those books?
I don't know. Absolutely not, actually. he will be a casualty of the Rhone, I'm sure.
Well, allegedly,
because I've gone back and I don't know since the last time we podcasted, but I've gone back and I've started rereading the books, and I'm on Dance with Dragons right now, and it just makes me really, really sad that we're not going to get the rest of the books and the way the TV show ended. It's very, very upsetting.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
It's one of the great series in television, and one of the worst endings.
Yeah, and I mean, he has no excuse now. He has got plenty of fucking time. There are no distractions. There's no TV shows to shoot. There's no Comic-Cons to go to. No excuse.
Supposedly, he is working furiously on it at an undisclosed location.
Ugh. I hope it's not Florida.
It is Boca Raton.
It's Florida. He's splitting time between Florida and Georgia.
It's actually a beach in Florida.
Oh my God, they've opened beaches. I've been all day long. I've been on Twitter and there's just these pictures of crowded beaches, and I'm going, Jesus fucking.
Well, they reopened parts of Texas, and there's that picture on Twitter of all those white people at a restaurant, and the rule's supposed to be you must sit apart from each other, but they are just clumped together, and the poor waiter's got a mask and gloves on. None of them do, and it literally proves that the only reason everybody was throwing a fit is so they could go get waited on again. That was the only fucking reason.
Yeah, it is a class of Americans who are like, it's not about the economy. It's not about anything other than we want people to kiss our asses again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they're all freaking out. Like Florida, Georgia, Texas, they haven't even been completely shut down, and they haven't been for that long.
Yeah, they've got it pretty friggin' easy.
Yeah, and there's no way the test counts in Florida are accurate. There's no way.
Absolutely not. Nothing in Florida is accurate.
Not
the
even
only thing that's accurate in Florida is the stepmom count.
They know exactly how many of those they are. Pornhub knows.
I don't even trust that it actually touches the ocean.
It doesn't. It's actually landlocked.
It's just it's an illusion.
Flat earthers.
MC Escher designed Florida. MC Escher fucked John Waters, and we have Florida.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so this was kind of a test run, since we're having to do the podcast in a very different format now.
Yeah,
but,
not in my basement.
Yeah, it's definitely going to save me a lot of editing time.
It's definitely because I'm sitting here, and all I can hear coming from that direction over there is my cat in the litter box taking a shit.
I'm sorry we can't all be there for that. Yeah,
magic.
But yeah, we'll get back next time. We'll probably get back to, well, it's going to be different, obviously, but we'll try to Thunderdorm and do some other.
Yeah,
we'll figure out some things to do.
Yeah.
We had no plan going into this one other than we're going to get drunk.
Yeah, there was absolutely no plan for this,
which is really the way we've done the entire show.
Yeah,
from the beginning.
So yeah, you check us out on we're on YouTube. Todd and I have been doing a live thing on Instagram.
It's our healing journey.
It's a healing journey. So that's on the YouTube. It's just search Ingenious Basterds. It'll bring up a bunch of Inglorious Bastards, but just look for the actual page on there.
Yeah.
And I'll put a link on the Twitters and whatnot at Bastards Podcast.
I also have a link to it on the Ingenious Bastards Facebook page.
Cool. We're also going to start streaming. I'm going to be playing Fortnite on Twitch. That's not true. It's not.
And Todd and I are just going to be on there. Just get them.
Yeah. I have
Just-
no idea how that even works.
We'll be like video game hype men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd be terrible at it. So, I mean, there may be comedy value there.
I almost bought a game system the other day, but there are no game systems to be had right now because they are all sold out everywhere. And if you want one, the price gouging is very high right now.
Do you want my Xbox?
Sure.
$4,000.
Damn!
About 1,200.
I expect nothing less.
I will absolutely sell it to you for $1,200. Like, right now, I will drive it to your house.
He's got that money. All right. Well, that'll probably do it for tonight. You can check us out on the Twitters and all that shit. And then we're
on Facebook, Instagram, and like I said, we got the YouTube page now. So
Yep. All right. This has been Ingenious Basterds. I'm Corey.
I'm Cal.
I'm Todd.
Ingenious